judge. People stayed up all night, and at this point, you're almost an hour into a live, and it's like we're going back into what happened. You can cut if you want. I don't care, but I sent you $5 for a bail, y'all. Well, I'll tell you what. You want me to send it back to you? You want me to send you the $5 back? Send me your Cash App. I'll send it back because with people like you, don't need them. Don't need them. I'll send your $5 Cash App back to you, Pink Nasty. And you know what you can do? You can take it and go give it to somebody else. How's that? You feel happy about that? Would that help you? Would that help your husband sleep better? Because if it would, I'll send you $5 back. I don't need it. Don't need it from you. If you're going to hold that shit up against me, don't need it. That just shows your character.
Be able to say,
but anyways, we're going to go back. You might be able to throw an elbow. Wait a minute. I've never seen Jimbo get his elbow up that high. Well, let's cancel that shit out. Now I've heard of row elbows and stuff. I mean, but he can't fucking raise his arm up. Like literally, Jimbo has a device in his bathroom that helps him put his arm in a sling, and he pulls a little string that's on a pulley, and it raises his arm up so he can.
How do you come up with this stuff, Ernie?
Put deodorant on. But the thing about it is his other arm. It only goes to here, so he has to slip down like this, and then he can barely wipe it just a little bit, just a little. That's all he needs is just a little. Make sure he get up. There you go. Then he takes. And he has to undo the thing from his bathroom, and his arm goes down. And then he wipes fucking sweat off his face. It's hot as hell. Okay. Now, if you guys don't believe me, that's fine. That's your all's choice. Now, but I'm telling you all this shit. That's why I'm like, if I was around Jimbo, I'd be scared to death. Like literally scared to death. Because if I touch him and he starts rolling or something, it's untelling. Like ambulance is called. I mean, you got to put up all of that.
Lisa's a character.
She is, but you are too. Now, I don't agree with everything you've done or whatever or said about people, but
and that's understandable.
Who does? But you are very entertaining. And, you know, I was there with you for the highway runs. I was just distraught. I've watched people, Mclicklickpop, Rap, and Jimbo, torment the living hell out of you. I've watched them call the police every time you go to get a bite to eat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is nobody that has been stalked and bullied more than you. Nobody.
I understand that.
If anybody has followed you for a long period of time, you know that. Now I've lost touch since you have to change channels all the time, and until I see one come up, you know, I don't know where you are or what you're doing. But my granddaughter was here, and we were. I think it was Nicolina. You were just reaming somebody's ass, and she's got her fist pump in there, going, "Go Ernie, go Ernie." I mean, so yes, I've been around a while.
Wow, great content choice for kiddos. What happened to the Rugrats or Charlie Brown?
But I tried to donate to your funds, your Cash Apps, whatever.
Well,
I've tried to help you out. So I'm not bad guy.
But here's the thing. I made a mistake. I made a mistake years ago of letting Jimbo anywhere near me, and I regret that. I regret that wholeheartedly. I regret having my lives and just like literally pleading my heart out to people for them to subscribe to Jimbo, because he had no content. He is boring as hell. And it was just like blah. That's what I mean. Even and I wanted it one time because I wanted him to change the name and start a new channel, because the name of the stand and the liking and what all the hell he had was a disgrace to me. It was lies that was put out there, a bunch of bullshit that was put out there. And he made that whole channel. He has made thousands of dollars off my name.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Thousands.
Well, it's time to. Yeah, I mean, he has. By trying to discredit me and everything I do. So I got a few things up my sleeve, but this is later on or that. Let me ask you a question. Did you watch the full 10 hours last night on Easy's?
No, I fell asleep like after I was on, and there was some gray pill guy. I fell asleep. So no, I didn't. Okay,
so what does these people even have to do with the subject and the topic for last night? And you notice Easy changed his live to talk with Pink Nasty, open panel, talk and rap battle. Jimbo's no longer in it. So that tells me right there, either Easy is doing this on account of Constant Sue, which everybody knows would think would be the big, like, the common denominator with both Jimbo and Easy. Now, last night, if this is what happened, this is a disgrace, because you're telling me that all this stuff that's happened now, these victims out there, these people who have been put down by Jimbo, and they have. I even seen. I'll give you an example. I seen Smokey in Easy's chat. Ask him about the phone call. Ask him about the phone call, the edited phone call, stuff like that. It went unnoticed. It was blind. When Thelma asked, when Thelma asked Smokey to borrow $3,000,
Jimbo. I agree.
Jimbo called her on the phone, or he had her call him, or I don't know how it was. But anyways, the whole thing in it, he made her say it 3 times, and she said it straight out. Well, what he did is he took words out of it, and she never said that. She never said that. And then he played it on his videos. See, I told you I would catch you. You didn't ask me to, or Thelma never asked you to borrow $3,000, liar. And he made her look awful for that.
Yeah,
and that ain't the truth. That ain't the truth at all.
In the sense that listened to it could hear the break. Okay, I heard it.
Yeah. Well, you heard the break. I heard the break. I could hear the break cleanly in it.
He made a lot of money off of her too. That was just gross. But
he made a lot of money off of her. Remember, it was No Means No. We Stand with Smoky Mountain Mama in the background, all painted up real pretty. Lord, the flowers you could smell. Literally, you could smell the flowers. And Kemper like, yeah, I'm married. No Means No. And then one thing happened. Boom, done. Slut. She's a slut. She's this. She's that. Done. You know, all that. Like literally, they stoned her. It was like
not even 2 weeks later, he was calling her a slut. Yeah, that's what I said. Remember in the beginning when Jimbo first came to YouTube, what I was saying was he wasn't like this. He wasn't just so gross and messy.
Jimbo has always been like this. He just had a better way of hiding it. He kept pushing to see what conduct his supporters would accept, and here we are.
The torment from Mclicklickpop, rap. I think it made him nasty. Now he made, that's just what I saw, and that's just my opinion. Now the same thing.
Don't excuse a grown man's actions on anyone except for himself. Stop making excuses for bad behavior.
Thing happened with you. You went after them hard, but it just wasn't hard enough for them to stop.
Well, here's the thing.
Your life.
I went after them, but I had a heart, and I would stop. I don't have that heart. I really don't have that heart no more. Like that. I have a heart. But
it's who would have a heart after what they did to you? I would have lost my damn mind way before you did the first highway run. I would have lost my damn shit. I would have gotten a car, or my husband would have, and just went and took care of that shit. I'm serious.
Exactly. You don't know how many times. And here's the thing. And I ain't gonna say that in my live here. I'm trying to keep it clean. But
you couldn't even have a damn girlfriend without. You couldn't even eat food without somebody talking about where you were and what your food you were eating. Now,
you're
I think you gave too much information away, but they wanted you locked up so bad. And I don't care what anybody says. I still believe that they had some sort of role in that ban issue. I do believe Benny, Nicolina.
They did. They called the owner and said that they told the owner shit, and I couldn't get to the owner while they was on there. That's what it was, and we couldn't work it out.
Listen at what he just told you. He could not get a hold of the van owner because Nicolina and Benny were on the phone with him. Does that make sense to you? He did not get back with the owner for 5 days, if I remember correctly. There's no excuse. The man had no choice except to report the van stolen.
I wish that your lives were still up so these new people could go back and see. Now, I ain't kicking your ass either, but I'm just saying what they did to you was absolutely the most horrific thing I've ever seen on YouTube.
They caused my mind to split. Even when I got to the doctors, like on one of them, I remember them the doctor coming in and he says, "What's going on is you're having a mind split." And I said, "What the hell is a mind split?" And he's like, "You're bringing things in the past up. It's like things are happening. It's just your mind don't know how it can control it. It's like kind of broken right now. It's overloaded is what happened." And I was like, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie because in my head it was going. Ooh. And I hadn't had that shit. I hadn't had that shit happen. Like, I mean, it was crazy. So it was new. I had people there with me and everything who helped me out. Yes, I did. And but during that time, like, I didn't know. I had no clue that even the mind could do certain things. Like, I would. Hell, even everything was different about me. I mean, at that time. So,
you should have PTSD after all the crap they did to you. And Mama T, I'm talking to Ernie, not you. Just stop. I'm not attacking Ernie.
It's okay. It's okay. I ain't worried about it.
I do feel bad for Ernie because I think he has had bouts of psychosis. I know that can be scary, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, even Ernie. I hope he can get the help he needs and it doesn't happen again. See, I do have a heart, haha.
Is right. That was their goal, was to break Ernie. And they were so happy when they did it. Just like Nicolina when she was trying to break rap. Go ahead, kill yourself, drink the antifreeze. I mean, that was vile. That was just gross. Even though I'm not a fan of raps at all.
Right.
That was gross. What are people doing on here?
Well, I understand that.
Your share of crap, more than Jimbo, but I do think that I think his mind kind of cracked too. But he's always calling somebody fat. Well, he used to be fat.
Yeah, Jimbo.
He called names. I mean, I just have never heard. I mean, like,
Well, for somebody like Jimbo, here in a few years, he's not going to be able to move at all. I mean, that people need to understand that. Like, he ain't going to be able to move at all. He said he has more surgery scheduled and all that. I mean, people have to understand.
He always wants to fight somebody. I have never in my life seen a man that can barely walk, barely move, always wanting to challenge somebody to a fight.
So can you imagine Jimbo's speed and him walking up to somebody and him finding them going to fight him, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Rap.
Well, if he grabbed a hold of Rap and fell on him, he can get Rap because Jimbo does know a little jujitsu. Rap don't know, so Jimbo will be able to tie him up on the ground. I will say that. But how far as movements and stuff go from there, I don't know. But if Jimbo misses and falls on the ground and he can't get back up in time, Rap could kick him or anything like that. I mean, things could happen. But I mean, I give that a probably 70-30. Jimbo's
he's not going to put himself in that position if he has any bit of smarts in him, because the one wrong move and he could be paralyzed. He took his son, for Pete's sakes, to the hotel where Rap was just in case something went wrong. He carried a gun to Roger Brown. I mean, it's just silly. These are grown men. If he was my dad, I would be so mortally embarrassed the way he acts. Why you got to always be saying, let's fight?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he had a gun with Roger. Roger had a gun. Roger was the one told him if he leaves his property, he's always got that with him. And Jimbo's like, oh, you're going to shoot me. You're going to shoot me. Blah, 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 like that. And I was like, what do you expect's going to happen to you, you fool? Come in somebody's house. Like, you want to go to somebody's home? You going to get shot. Like, literally. And he was, I don't know, but his head was so in go mode and fat and like forward mode. And I was like, are you serious? He's really doing this? Because here Roger is. He's got nunchucks. He's got a sword. He's got a pirate gun. He's got everything he needs. And Jimbo...
4 kids and a family to support. Why would you even put yourself in that position is what I'm asking. Why?
Exactly. And then, well, I mean, that's past point. I mean, I've had some good times, I'm not going to lie. But there's been some horrible times too.
When you guys broke up, and that's and when about Alicia Turner, you know, I liked her. She was always doing things. Me and her chatted a few times. But he just started going downhill from that point, and then he's attacking everybody. And so I just tuned out. I canceled my membership that I had for like a year and a half or whatever. And it was just bad. It was bad. There's no sense in everybody talking about real life stuff. There really isn't. MAGA, they would not leave you the hell alone about that. Why can't they just let you ride off into the sunset and you give happy updates?
Because that ain't the way it works. But anyways, you know, they destroyed every relationship, everything I've ever had. So that's why nowadays I'm just like, I keep everything silent, everything quiet. And I come up here and I do like little updates and stuff like that, reviews and stuff about what I see. That's it. And ask people their opinions. And
you've changed. And I can tell that there's a lot of built up anger with the stuff you said about E Squared. I thought, where in the hell is that coming from, Ernie? But you know.
E Squared, people, okay, so I'm going to be honest with you about E Squared. I did message E Squared after I did that. I texted her and told her, I said, you know, that really wasn't warranted, but, you know, I'm sorry. Okay, and we talked a little bit, and she's like, well, why can't everything go back to normal and the way it was? I'm like, it just never will be. Never will be like that.
Allow it to.
So,
they're not going to allow it.
And I've got the text message. I would never show her numbers and shit, but I've kind of, I mean, I could do that, but I don't know if I'll shit or not. But
D says Jim Blob wasn't fat. He was hugely obese. He was. And he's always calling somebody fat now that he's like a stick figure. I don't. Oh, let me clear up one thing, Ernie. I knew why Jimbo and Kemper split, okay? But at that particular moment, it wasn't coming across my mind. And if I backtracked to everything I knew and said, I'd still be on panel. Okay?
But you said you didn't know why, and I knew you did.
I know why, and it was.
But and I kind of knew that because I mean, you couldn't have been a subscriber and a person of interest like that, and helped with with donations and with auctions and stuff, and not know what happened between those two because it's very vital.
But here's the thing. I'm 55 years old. I have limited memory capacity. It just wasn't important in my
God. Brain fog. Okay, I see. I'm just
in my recall. And I've killed a few brain cells, okay? So I can't remember right then. It just wasn't that important to me to spill it all out. I knew it had something to do with he wanted to lie about some papers and Kemper and Cray didn't want him to. Something about that. But it just wasn't something that I kept in my head, you know? So it wasn't that. I mean, I got reminded, I knew, but it just wasn't important for me to spew it out right then because I had a whole 6 pages of notes. Okay, people wanted to attack and talk about all this stuff Easy does, but then his subscribers, these women that were over at Easy's, they didn't sit back and look at actually what in the world is going on here. Jimbo's so angry, he's aggressive, he's calling all these names, which I think they're immune to because he does it to you as well. He does it to everybody he gets pissed off with. Gypsy, I mean, it's just stop being so angry. He needs to go get some therapy. He wasn't like this in the beginning. And I mean, I enjoyed his content. And then when you and him were together, that was good content. You and E Squared going to get the tire was great. I mean, it was just great content.
Well, yeah, I mean, I done a lot of good things. We had a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, but all that's gone now. It's all been trampled, and I'm not gonna. Go ahead.
Is there one thing that Jimbo can say about you that he hasn't already said and repeated over and over and over again? There's not. But he just continues with it. Move on, Jimbo. Go to something else.
It's called obsession.
Well, I don't get it.
It's called obsession.
Maybe
all you need to do is go and get his book. He wrote it. I never had a hand in it. The Rise and Fall of Warrior MMA. That's all you need. Read that book. The first chapter shows you exactly Jimbo behind the scenes. His stripper days, his 3-ways, his 4-ways.
Who's gonna have 3 ways with him?
When you pay him, when you're making $10,000 or $20,000 every week on a show, and you're making $10,000 or $20,000 every week somewhere, and yeah, and that's after he paid out everything. After he paid out everything. After. Like in his book, he talks about he'd be sitting on a suitcase, $10,000-$20,000 in it, and he would hand me $300, and I ran most of the show. I was the one that would do this stuff. So think about his kind of person, okay? Everything about this person, everything I've done, he's copied. He's tried to. He's done it. He's tried to. So
he doesn't have to.
This is where it comes in to the point where like you finally realize, like, look, man. And now he's still. I mean, if you want to look at Jimbo's income, it's all been on me for the last how long? 20 years?
Oh, I don't know, but I do know about the last 2 or 2.5 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, but that's what everybody goes to YouTube for, is to make money. Nobody's here to take all this abuse. I would guarantee you that he's made about 10 times more money than you ever did the whole time you've been on YouTube, because most of the time people were shutting down your Cash Apps, your PayPal. They were you couldn't get your channel monetized. Yeah, it wasn't right.
Okay.
I think we've met Ernie's a fickle cheerleader.
Somebody's got a question in chat. I'm gonna start looking at some chat here. Lisa Dance, Gypsy, I want an answer. I did nothing to you ever. Then you talk about my family. Okay, I didn't. And see here.
I can drop down, Ernie. I just want to say that, I
appreciate you coming up, and I appreciate you coming up. I'm kind of sorry because I didn't know who you was. I kind of do a little bit now in a way, but I'm not going to say nothing out loud or nothing.
Well,
so
I'm trying not to. I don't want to cause a whole big uproar, but I think I believe in the truth as well, and I think that YouTube is entertainment. And I know that you've entertained me quite a bit. My husband said, "You had Ernie's again." I was like, "Yeah, I'm at Ernie's." And he, like I said last night, I mean, he knew about Jimbo. Jimbo had auction selling stuff, and my husband's like, "Oh, I want that." And when he came in like the other night and heard Jimbo going on, he says, "That's that same dude." I'm like, "Yeah, it's the same guy."
Right. Mm-hmm. And people get to see who people are. And here's the thing. And I done a lesson like that the other night. People tell on themselves, finally, and eventually. They tell on themselves.
They will.
They do. They tell on themselves.
And I'm not perfect. I got stuff. Everybody's got ghost in their closet. And by the way, I love Beloved Ghost. I don't care what anybody says. I help with her air conditioner. So
yeah.
People saying that whatever, I don't care what they say about me.
Well, I bet she's very happy for that, because at that time she really needed an air conditioner. I mean, it was a bad deal. I mean, she was pretty much down dying in her house and shit. I was like, golly. But yeah,
helping of those people, we would contribute money to that. It was a good cause. It was a good thing, but people just wouldn't leave it alone.
People destroyed that. I mean, here's the thing. I would help with like $500 or $600 a day, like raise that kind of money a day. Like we did it like almost a week straight, and people was like, I mean, I was trying to, everybody that came up, I was trying to give, and I would give them like $20, $30 out of my Cash App or something like that. And people would come up and they would say they need this or that, and we would help them out. And I felt so good for that. I really felt really, really good for that.
Yeah, there were some good things in there, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I Jones till you come on every day, and until your channel got squished or whatever, and things just went all to shit. But yeah, I mean, I watched. I enjoyed it. You provided entertainment for me. And like I said, how many times have you said, "Y'all, this is a movie. I'm just full of shit." That's what I meant. I meant it in like that way, because you're full of shit. It wasn't to be mean, and sometimes that can come across that way.
I can be sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, I can be.
Can't we all be full of shit?
It just depends on what the bullshit is. I mean, what people talk about. That's just
Yeah.
the thing.
Well, I
But
wish
yeah,
you luck, Ernie, but stay away from the bad stuff, the videos and nasty videos. Just be you and don't.
last night, I mean, the whole 10-hour video that Easy did, maybe 45 minutes was about Jimbo. I thought that was a disgrace. I'm sorry. But,
Well,
I mean, I'm letting everybody else know. And then for him to change the name of his live, like, that's kind of like for me, it's not just always check it twice, cut it once. And for that to happen and him change his name of his live, that kind of just, unless he's waiting for something bigger to do, but I didn't see nothing about him addressing about how Jimbo's done to other people. And the people has messaged, and done everything. So I can just say, I just
Ernie,
think it's over.
you know how sometimes when you're on a live and things get derailed? I think that's kind of what happened. I think
But
that,
it,
you're
it
talking about
was,
one
but the
thing.
thing about it is, if you're on a panel and you control your own channel, you have to be able to say, hey, let's get this back. And here, okay, so look at this. Do you know when they started talking about characters? What the hell is that? Like, what does that have anything to do? That blew my mind. Like, it was ridiculous. It was even Easy called it out. He was like, what are we even talking about here? What are we even doing here? It was
Yeah.
so fucked. It was one of those moments. It's just like, it's a mind fuck, like literally.
Well,
And
when it's
people
4
were
o'clock in the
not
morning,
there to listen to that.
it's 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and you're talking about Gray Pill, I kind of just zone out at that part. I
Right.
don't really know about that. I don't keep up with that. It's, I don't know. But I do know that it gets derailed. And I do know that I like Easy. He hasn't done anything that has just, I thought, been foul. I like
Here's the thing. I done a video. I done a video on Easy and when he went on Jimbo's panel and everything, and I gave him so much props, so many props. But then to turn around and like build this up. So you didn't think you got built up for nothing last night? Like it wouldn't build up. Like for 12 o'clock it was stopped. Then he had to push it back. And then at like 12:30, something like that, everybody was waiting 1 o'clock for the live. And then he pushed it back from 1 to 1:15. But before he put a premiere out about Jimbo. Well, a premiere is what's to come, right?
I guess I'm not really up on those
A
premieres, but
premiere. If you go, okay, so if you're sitting in the movie theater, what does people go for mostly?
the movie,
The movie or what else? To see what's coming out, right?
the previews.
The previews. Yeah. So if you go and you're watching the previews and you're getting excited and you're like, whoa, that's coming out. So first thing you say is, I gotta watch that, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go watch it. It's all advertisements, what it is. Now, so a premiere is just to get people ready. It's just to get people ready. Well, for what's to come. So let me make sure on this because I really want to be right. Hold on. I would talk to Google, but Google never understands me. So I'm gonna go premiere.
Maybe nobody else came up and said anything about it. That's why I kind of thought it got derailed. Kind of like, well, I ran my mouth for way too long. But I don't know because I didn't see it. I'll watch it later. The rest of it. Sometimes I fast forward through all that pill stuff. I don't know. I just don't. That's just not something I'm interested in. It's not entertaining. It's not funny. But I'll listen to it. But when it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I fall asleep. So I don't really know if there was any more talk about Jimbo or not. I don't know what Easy has up his sleeve, but I trust his judgment. So.
I mean, I can understand that, and you have every right to. But I think a lot of people was left in awe last night. But like I said, I'm letting them judge it. I'm in 48 minutes of it. I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna get back to it, and thank you for the kind words. That really mean a lot. Kind of a trip down memory lane again.
Okay, take care, Ernie.
Be good. Tell your little granddaughter I said hi.
I will. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay, so guys, you see how we can have like disagreements, and I can go off the end sometimes. But what did I do? Apologize. I stopped and thought about it. Sometimes I blow the hell up, guys. Sometimes I do. Now, do I go and do physical things? Sometimes, no, I don't. But I do say things. My mouth. I mean, I'm a damn redneck, so I say things sometimes. But I take it back and do what needs to be done. Give her an apology, and then that's how you control things and do things the right way. If I can't control myself, how can I control you guys? Do I ever try to control you guys? Can I control my channel if I can't control myself? Think about it. No, I can't. So I got to understand that. I got to understand that that's the way things work. Okay, so at this minute, we're about in the 48 minute mark, something like that.
Go see Frank either. And a responsible man with a family does not do shit like that.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward it to about 53 minutes.
Let's think of a really small owned business, a little pawn shop, and I buy something at the pawn shop. I'm helping pay the pawn shop owner's fucking bills.
Okay, so they're talking about the money situation on YouTube. Here's the thing. I want all creators to make money. Put your Cash App up there, put your PayPal up there, ask for the super chats, because I'm telling you, this is taking time to do, okay? This takes time to do. If someone's dedicating their time, and if people likes it, what is the problem with donating? That's all I'm going to say about that. They're taking the time out of their day to give you content. If you like that person, now if you're just sitting there going blah 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 blah, and it's the most annoyingest shit ever, I wouldn't want you to fucking donate to me. Don't do it. I try to make it kind of fun, interesting. I add a little comedy in with it, but no, I really did do that shit to my beard, so I'm kind of in a bad way about that. And yeah, I'm wondering if anybody knows any kind of cream or anything that I got put on it, because it hurts like a mother. I'm not gonna lie about that. Kind of hurts like really, 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 really bad. Like I'm scared to even. I mean, like I know that I've got a brand new set, never been opened, never been used. I can go and get it, but when I look at that plug-in, and I know that I've got to plug that new one in there, can you imagine how much oil I'm gonna be putting on them blades before I even attempt or think about touching that to my face? I'm scared to death. That gave me PTSD. Like literally. I mean, seriously, like what am I supposed to do? Are there any kind of counseling for shit like that? Because I'm probably going to need it.
As a veteran with PTSD, is it just me that doesn't think jokes about PTSD from trivial things is funny? Just asking.
Damn sure ain't going to put it on my pubic hair. Can you imagine that shit? Holy hell. It was to get wrapped around something down there, Lord have mercy. I'd probably turn into a dancer or something. At least it wouldn't be a rapper.
Oh.
Hi,
Hello. Go ahead, guys.
I just want some answers what I was asking last night.
Good to finally meet you.
Yeah. Why was you talking about my family on your panel a few weeks ago?
Okay. Several times I've mentioned the FAR industry impact that it had on the textile economy in Gaston County. And
yeah, but why mention it while y'all was talking about me?
I don't even remember the context.
Oh, I do. It was
now what I know about FAR yarn is, you know, when I was living there, I watched it kind of go down in that whole town. And this is before my daughter's murder and before I had to interact with the officials there in the town. I was just someone who lived there and not from there. So I had to sort of learn about, you know, the corruption and that sort of thing. And everything that I've said, I have learned on Google or the Gaston Gazette.
Well, yes, that's probably public.
And I would love for you to debunk any of it.
Well, what I'm asking you is, why did you say all that? Because
I would have to know the context of what I was talking about. The context
is they were dragging me up on your panel, all the mean girls, because I left them.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as that goes, if any behavior or any things that I've said during that period of, you know, I was just telling Nitro today, at some point, I'm probably going to private those because it's just sheer embarrassment.
But what I'm asking is, in that moment, and I don't want to.
I was probably pissed off. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was probably just pissed off.
I've never done nothing to you. Never.
Well,
Never.
That's not true. See, that's not true.
What did I do?
Well, I know that you ran background checks on pretty much all of us.
I never.
I understand that you gave that information to BDAC. It's my understanding that you gave that information to BDAC, who gave that to Jamie, who then in turn, I'm telling you what I was told.
Who told you that?
You've been on my panel several times.
Gypsy?
Yeah.
You could not have a receipt for that because it never happened. I never looked you up. You were never even on my radar. Honest to God. They gave me, I was telling my friends on YouTube, it's amazing that I'm not out looking for a job now because I could just turn in everything they give me credit for and make a great resume, but it's not me. They got the wrong person. The only person I ever did work for behind the scenes was for Ernie, and it was because people that was going after him, and most of them didn't even have a real name on their platform. So I was leveling the playing field for him and helping him deal with these people.
Okay, I was a casualty of that.
But you were never on the radar. I don't even know anything about.
She put my shit up on her damn wall for about 6 months.
Who?
Jamie.
Jamie who?
Southern girl.
Do you believe what that girl says? I can't
Well, at the
imagine.
time I did. Yeah, she was
Well, you
a
can't.
personal friend of mine. I did believe, yes.
Well, while you was a personal friend with her, I was a personal friend with her, wasn't I,
Right.
Ernie?
Well, I
Correct.
don't think that it
Correct.
was.
I was even in January, I sent her birthday presents. We started that barnyard thing. I was very close to her, but she got ticked off because she thought it was me that sent Mama T some stuff.
Let me make this clear. It was my understanding that when I left the Tigers and Ernie and I minced words, that at that time, you, BDAC, Jamie, as a collective force, posted my shit. And
you probably wouldn't believe this, but I have never had a conversation with BDAC ever in my life.
Exactly.
Okay, so
I've never.
So I apologize for
But in the middle of all this dragging me, and you were there, and you were making other comments too, but I'm only pinpointing.
Okay, if I understood that you did that to me, at that point, you're my enemy and you have attacked me. You have come on my soil and attacked me.
But why not be able to show proof? I mean, before you attack anybody, why not know for a fact that they did it?
She's admitted to doing those things.
What?
You've admitted to pulling background checks for people.
They act like I was, we have me and my friends from that left the Mean Girls. We have our receipts for what all went down, for what I did for them, everything. We just haven't come out because we don't roll like that.
I took your word when you were on, panel that you admitted to doing it, so I just believed you.
But did Ernie ever pull anything on you? No, I don't know. Ernie's never mentioned you to me. You've never.
I'm not talking about Ernie.
BDAC or even Jamie. We've never even had a discussion. I've never had a discussion with you with Jamie. Never. That just came up out. I don't know where that even comes from. But you can't. Why would you even think that without even confronting me?
Okay, I'm going to repeat it because on panel you have admitted to doing that. And
what did I admit doing it? That I did it for everybody?
That you had done it for Ernie on people that he had gone, pretty much toe to toe with, which was one would have been me.
Well,
let's just for a second, because we're going in circles here.
Yeah, I know we are. First of all, I don't remember.
If I was misinformed and I ran with that information without a receipt and off emotion, I apologize. That was unfair of me to assume you were involved in that.
Okay. But
if I attacked you because of that, again, based on emotion and what I know about Gaston County, and you feel like I projected, and you feel like,
for a minute?
Yes,
please.
I was trying to apologize to you.
Okay. I only want to know why you were implying that my family was in the crime business there.
Google
said it because
Google FAR Industries and the mob.
I know all about FAR Industries.
Okay.
I know all about it. What does that have to do with me?
That it's a historical fact.
What does that have to do? Do you not know that FAR Yarns was not even owned by FAR? It was the Kardashians.
That's like saying, why mention R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company? Because I was obviously talking
about
the
history
county.
Let's not give too much history on anything like that. Because trust me.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is, you were wrong. You were wrong about my family. We've never been involved in any kind of crime, mobsters, anything. Nothing. Very high standards and upstanding people with businesses in your area.
Do you know that there is material out there that says otherwise?
On me? Personally? Or someone with the last name?
Only you knew that you were personal to the FAR yarn industry. Only you made that comment just now, okay? That's like saying R.J. Reynolds, which is close to me, okay?
You said it.
You're taking something that is a historical fact personal.
You said it to mean it personal.
Because look it up on Google. I don't know what you want from me, lady. I mean, I Googled it.
Look, lady, I asked you a direct question.
I Googled it. I Googled it.
Anybody can Google it, but why would you say that when y'all were speaking?
Because I was probably talking about the corruption in that county where my daughter was murdered, which I'm going to continue to talk about.
But what does that have to do with my family now?
I don't know why you're making it personal. I have absolutely no idea why.
So right in the middle of talking about planting a bed of flowers, you can start talking about the corruption because of that name.
I have no idea where you're going.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I have absolutely no idea where she's going.
Here's the thing. I know a little bit about FAR Yarns, and it's really, whether she's married into it, whether what happened, everything. I mean, she's not like in it, or whatever. Now, here's the thing. When you start listening to tabloids or media tries to come up against anybody. Let's look at this. Something professional about far yarns.
I agree with that.
They made over $500 million a year. That's a big business. That's a huge business. So
you can find negative media
businesses,
on any company. Yes. If you are looking for negative media, you will find it.
You'll find it on anything.
Right.
Now, whether shareholders or who the shareholders are or what the deal is, people can be anybody. Nobody knows who people is and all that, like who they really are and what they're about. Now, I'm not read into it or nothing. I don't get into other people's family stuff.
Well, when you lose a daughter in that county and you go toe to toe with the people there, you educate yourself on who's pumping the money into that county.
Well, when it comes to politics, okay, so I know something about that because my papa, it was big into politics. And still, there's people into this day that he put in there and he put into certain positions that, yes, people do things for a gain. I'm just going to say that because I know what certain things in certain areas can do. Like, but anyways, for somebody just to go against the family or something
Ernie,
like that.
We're talking about the textile industry as a whole, okay?
But still, what's it got anything to do with Jody?
Oh my God. If you were to Google or go to the library, well, let me finish, or go to the library and you look and you just look, please let me ask me a question. Please let me answer it. Please let me answer it. Please let me answer it. And you did any research on just the textile industry as a whole? It came from the Northeast and the mafia ran it because of the union. And then they moved down south and settled in Gastonia.
I've read the
So
book,
crime
Gypsy,
pumped money into that county.
and it also fed a lot of
That is
people.
a historical fact.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this about history. A lot of people have family ties. I know what that's like. So I know that certain deeds are done for reasons unexpectedly.
But I won't.
Yeah, because just don't talk about it. Let's just drop
it. No problem.
Let's just drop it.
If she doesn't want me to mention her family, I won't. If she wants me to edit material out, I will.
I just wanted you to admit you were trying to discredit me.
Absolutely, I was.
And that's
absolutely, I was. Yes.
And for
yes, offend, defend. Absolutely.
My family wasn't involved. My personal family was not involved in that.
I have no problem making a statement and editing anything.
Well,
I'm glad that you debunked it.
You know, the thing is, that's the whole problem with the Mean Girls.
I was very proud to ride down I-85 and see your company pumping a lot of business into that town, and it really hurt when everything got shipped over.
It wasn't my company.
Or who's ever. It made you proud to be an American at that time, and so I understand why you wouldn't want a stain on that, and I will retract.
It's not a stain.
I will retract it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Exactly, Gene. Exactly, brother. That's why I'm just keeping it quiet with it. It is what it is. People can't help who their families are.
Right.
Okay, that's just a fact.
I mean, I don't know what more I can do.
I've got some of the worst family members ever.
I won't mention her family anymore. What more do y'all want from me here, guys?
Let's go with this. My mom killed somebody. My papa killed 2 people. My dad killed 3. My uncle killed 1. My other uncle killed 1.
And we still love you.
One of my uncles killed 2 people. One of them was he shoved the axe handle up a guy's ass, left him on the railroad tracks to die. So yeah,
still love you,
my brother supposedly killed 3, 4, 5 people. I don't even know. It's untelling. So
Jody, I'm not perfect.
I grew up in this shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Jody, I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes.
I know that. But I grew up in killing,
and I don't mean to hurt people.
Shooting, stabbings, all that shit. I know what it's like. Okay, so it kind of when people start talking about families and who families are, back in the day, America was built on that shit. If you really want to look at it, America was built on that.
I appreciate what you're saying.
Yes, I mean a lot of it, because of the businesses that was brought in. People you would never expect, namely me. Damn it.
Well,
oh, Lord, Gene, you're a nut. I love you, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say for the record, the name Farr, there's billions of people with that name. And just like the name Smith or Jones or whatever, just because somebody has the last name that could possibly be even working for a company doesn't imply that they were the original owners or involved with anything that went on back then. I mean, that was just
absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely.
Came up one day and said, "Oh, there's a family named Collins in this town," and I'm like, Collins is like saying Smith. You can't go by a last name.
I have
So-
no problem issuing a retract, at all. I mean, that's the last thing I want to do is make you feel bad about anything.
I would like for you to edit that part out. That's all I want.
Okay. You have any idea which live it was?
Can you get a link?
It was before the time when I came up on your panel, when you invited me, and then you allowed Nicolina to talk over me. But other than that, I didn't really watch your show that much, except when somebody told me I was being talked about, and I
Okay.
over there. So I don't know which one it was exactly.
I'll find it.
So
I'm sorry I was a bitch. I'm sorry.
well, I am too. I'm too.
Oh, that's a
You're
Kodak.
very beautiful, by the way.
What?
I'd never seen you until just
She
now.
said.
and
She
it's
said
very
you're.
beautiful.
She said you're very fruity, by the way.
I said beautiful.
Oh, I mean beautiful. Sorry.
That picture was made 3 years ago. So lot happened since 3 years ago.
That's the greatest smile she's ever put on people.
I'm glad we finally
I
got to talk.
I was in Myrtle Beach at a far yarn beach house. There we go. I wasn't part of that far yarn, so but even still, that was a good day.
Well, I want to go to a far yarn beach house.
They don't exist anymore. They sold it to the fourth owners about 2 years ago, right after.
Anybody ever heard of Vincent Madden?
No.
Madden? Yeah, that sounds real familiar. That's your family, isn't it, Ernie?
It is. It is. Now, okay, so let me go back here a second. Let me just do this real fast. Okay, so he was a gangster and underworld boss in New York City. Okay, in the 1920s, he retired to Hot Springs, Garland County, in 1930 through his role in Arkansas politics, and history will forever remain. He was a powerful figure from the 1935 until his death during the heyday of illegal gambling in Hot Springs. It was an emblem of bad old days of machine politics. Oni Madden. Okay, so
What year was this?
this is in 1891 to the 30s or something.
Was
So
that in Arkansas?
yes, this is in Arkansas, but this is my family. This people in my family. Because I don't care about this out there. Now, let's see. So here, let me think. Let me show you something about what he did. Madden committed his first crime at age 14, clubbing a man and stealing $500. He rose to lead the area's most violent gang in 1911. Madden married and briefly lived with Dorothy Rogers, with whom he had a daughter named Margaret, his only child. A professional killer and gunman, he was wounded many times in 1915. He was sentenced to Sling Prison in Ossining, New York, for manslaughter. He was paroled. He was paroled early 1923. So what happens is the parole board and shit was all paid off. By then, the 18th Amendment, which marked the beginning of the Prohibition era, had the manufacture, transportation, and sale of intoxication, liquor illegal. During Prohibition, numerous underground bars and saloons appeared and market for bootleg. So it was all underground, everything.
Huh.
I know that Carlos, Marcelo, and Junior, yes, were my godfather and my uncle. I know, Gene, I know.
A lot of money in Prohibition.
There's a lot on people. People don't know who people are.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean I know it. I didn't mean I knew it. Okay, I mean like I know that. What I'm saying is there's people that you don't know who they are and everything. Is
I
what
tell
mean.
you what, this is really, very truly for a huge world. It's a very small world. If y'all know what
Exactly.
I mean.
Exactly. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Oh, I want to address something, if you don't mind, Ernie, that Christine had asked, and it was for Gypsy, but I don't think she knows the answer. She said, Gypsy, why would you allow 777 to trash my deceased children and try throwing them and I under the bus? Which was
This doesn't sound familiar to me. Who is this?
This is Christina Prestige Gmail.
She did that on my panel?
Nicolina did, yeah. I heard it too.
Damn.
And that was the day when Christine lost her daughter, and she had just lost another child a few months before. And Nicolina wasted no time.
I tell you, my mind drifts when drama starts happening, and I probably should have taken better control of my channel when that was happening. And that's why I didn't allow it as long as a lot of other people have. And I nipped it in the butt and pulled the plug the way that I did.
Well,
sometimes you have to live through the moment and then go back and look and say, whoa, where was my mind when that was going down? And yeah, I don't have an excuse for that. So other than I apologize. I have no problem amending any lives I have.
Well, anything dealing
And
with
any
the
clips
girls
that I have that,
is very
you know,
convoluted, and a lot of shit can happen in just a very short period of time because
no
so much
doubt.
is said and so much can get. They're hoping people are going to
Yes.
overlook a lot of stuff they say, but some things, when it pertains to certain the people themselves, it's just hard to overlook it. And I know my heart broke for Christine when she went through all that.
When a lot of yelling in that, my PTSD, my mind drifts and I'm not really in the moment. So I think that was probably one of those moments where I kind of zoned out and I really kind of froze, didn't really know what I should do. So, you know, it's like you shut down your life and you go through it and you think, wait, I need to do this next time. You know, I'm still new at this. So, you know, when you're watching it happen to someone, like a year ago when I watched them literally take over Mama T's channel, you think, oh, well, I'm not going to let that happen to me. And then it happens to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, how did that happen?
Well, you know, just for the record, I'm not for any of that garbage anymore. Period.
Me either.
I didn't like what was going on over there. And when
He described it perfectly, a mind fuck.
Yeah. And when I left, that's when they started in on me. And it just, and one day, me and my friends, we're going to be telling exactly what happened and show receipts. But we're not going to do it to satisfy anybody else but ourselves, because our truth is not just our truth, it's the facts. And we're going to have receipts to show it. And they can say they've made so much stuff about me and Ernie, and Traders was doing all this and all the stuff they've said. And I just sit back. Yeah, Traders, I bet you are related to Jeffrey Dahmer. And I haven't said anything, but that's okay. You know, all truth comes to light. And karma's a bitch, but my God is more awesome.
You know, I've been watching like literally back-to-back videos on covert narcissists and taking a refresher crash course. And they literally, there's no fixing them. So the best thing to do is just the first time they cross you, walk away.
Yeah. Well,
and she knows what happened between us, and that's all that needs to happen. You know what you did, and I left.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. They all know the truth. They don't want
nobody else needs to know.
They don't want anybody to know the truth. That's why they talk over everybody and change their own narratives, and that's okay. Everything will come back on it. But Ernie, I know you probably want to do some more, whatever you got to do here, but I'm going to drop down, and I appreciate you letting us up.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Well, I appreciate we've been getting things settled. That's good. I'm glad everybody can, you know, leave. And then we get back out and we've got Toxic.
And while I don't want to get into too much about what I did currently, I do want to bring up something about that, because you did say something about me only speaking on trans, but never showing a slideshow of images of girls all upon me from around the world. And okay, we'll get into that in a minute. My real frustrations.
Wait, but that was in response to you saying I don't get no bitches, right?
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
guys, I'm not gonna lie. I get more bitches than any of y'all. I'm gonna start posting my pictures. I'll show y'all some pictures. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll show you some pictures. If I wanted to, I could go out there in the middle of the road and lay with my shirt off. And some woman is they'll probably run over me first, but then they're gonna check on me. By God, there's a picture. You see how easy? So is this about pictures now? This is like some grade school shit. This is funny, yo. Make some merch. I ain't making no damn merch. I do, if I did merch, it's gonna be some crazy shit anyways.
Merch? How many of you have already forgotten about all the merch he supposedly made that was never shipped out, like the medallions and just recently even the wushuju? Merch and Ernie don't go together well.
Hold on a second, guys. I got a message. Very important. So I just got the text messages, and I'm asking if I can share these. These are from Jimbo and Mclicklickpop. Everybody, I tell you what, everybody just come on in and grab your popcorn, get you some Mountain Dew. We're going to take a little second break here, and we're going to come back, and we may have some goodies, but I got to get permission, right? Yep. So everybody just take a couple minutes. Take a couple minutes. They're coming in, and we're going to talk. We're going to go over this. I'm just waiting on permission. Okay, so we're back. We've been loading some stuff up. It might take us a minute to do this, and we're going to put these in order. Some of them are coming up through already. So we have two sets of messages. We end up having two sets of messages. One being from Mclicklickpop and Jimbo's conversation. And we also have time and dates, and that's pretty cool. I like that. So supposedly it was 3 weeks ago, right? Is that what I'm hearing? 3 weeks ago when it started or whatever? Let's see what the dates say. So we're waiting this to be brought out here. Let it upload right now. So here's the thing I want to get at. Now this is just what was sent to me and asked to share. So I'm going to share what it was. So Jimbo says the boy was 14 years old. 14 years old, right? Put a one in the chat if you remember Jimbo saying 14 years old. Here, I've got it right here if y'all need it. I can pull it up really fast. 14 years old, right? Swears up down, stepbrother, 14 years old, Mclicklickpop, having sex, giving alcohol, drugs to him, and all that, right? Now, how much you can take on this is up to you. Just I'm putting it out there to show, because when someone shows something in receipts, what usually happens? Things kind of die down a little bit. So let's just see what's going on here. Let's go over here. See if it's okay, it did. Okay, so I guess it's going to start out with this one here. Let's see if this is it. Okay, so this is Jimbo. I guess it's going to start out with this one here. Let's see if this is it. Okay, so this is Jimbo's YouTube from Sunday, August 28th of 2022. Hey, I was looking at Thelma's Facebook post from 4 hours ago. I know the boy in one of her pics that you all know. Jimbo says, who is it? She says, I knew he said he was from Harlan years ago when I first met him. Okay. Laugh out loud. How do you know him? Okay. That's our first one. This happened in August of 28, 2022, looks like. We agree on that. Right here it is. There we go. I think she marked his name out. What the marking is out. But anyways, there's your first one right there. Okay, so we'll go to our second one. Second one's here. He said he's from Harlan. How do you know him? He was good friends with my daughter and been to my house and stayed over night many times. His best friend from and blank used to date my okay there. Give time people look at that. And we'll move on. Yeah, I know. How do y'all know him? Oh my God, seriously. I got to tell my daughter this, laugh out loud. Yep. Wow, I would never guess on him being her brother. What? Wait a minute, I just read that. Wow, I would have never guessed. Oh, on the guy being Thelma's brother. Okay, I got him. Yep, my brother-in-law. He was 5 when Thelma and I got together. Okay, so 5 years old. What's the next one here? They had to give their keys if they planned on drinking. It wouldn't let none leave my house drinking. So yeah, was only one who had enough expect to get clean and before leaving the next day. Wow, small world, huh? Very small. What's her name? I'll name drop when I see. Okay. He's like a son to me. Very well respected boy. Even after daughter stopped dating his best friend, he would still come to my house. He would wake up and him, any friends would clean house, and I respected that kid. Is like a son to you? Yes. Okay. Yeah, he lives. Okay, that's Thelma's baby brother. Yeah, I know. How do you all know him? Oh my God, seriously. Well, it's kind of confusing, but my daughter is so scared somebody is going to dox me and fusses at me because all the drama on YouTube. Tell them, let's see. Well, okay. I've got more somewhere. It didn't take off. They used to date, so they'd have the house keys if they planned on drinking and wouldn't let no one leave. She's just telling, but they was 24 years old. I mean, these people was 24 years old. Very small, laugh aloud. What's her name? I'll name drop when I see it. So you can see automatically Jimbo wants to know names. He wants to get in close with everything. Can everybody see that? First thing, what's her name? Because Jimbo knows. Oh my God, Johanna Maynard. Criminal line, Bubba's waiting with Tiger Services Prison Commissary. Okay, Johanna, didn't you get sued already and shit? Didn't you get served or some shit? You're a fucking idiot, okay? Get the fuck out of here, man. Okay, good deal. Anyways, good God. Okay, let's not see. I'm not going to get off track. I'll stay the hell on track. So here we go. Let's watch the rest of them. Let's get them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to make sure I do this the right way, unlike other people. I want to keep it in order. It's hard as shit to do anything on StreamYard. I'm not going to lie. It never keeps shit in order. But we're going to keep it in order. So we're going to put it out there for people to understand and see it. So anybody can use these screenshots. Okay. My daughter is so scared somebody is going to dox me and fusses at me because all the drama on YouTube. Tell him blank blank, names are marked out. Please don't ever give our names to nobody on YouTube. I'm thinking about just leaving YouTube streets or just listening and not talk at all, pretty much. Now this is Mclicklickpop begging Jimbo to don't do it. Please don't do this to us. You know. Let's see here. Okay, let's go. Let's stop right here. Okay. Now, let me delete all this other stuff here and we'll upload the next bunch. That just makes me feel sad right there. Knowing what he did. And knowing she was scared. That's hurt. That's hurtful. So please don't ever give our names to nobody on YouTube. I'm thinking about just leaving YouTube streets or not talking, laugh out loud. I don't dox people. Not my thing. I've had Nicolina's address and info, also BK, Jamie, Crafton, and others, and I have never posted it. What do y'all think about that? Hot damn, right? Hot damn moments. Now that's a hot damn moment. All this brings out, Jimbo brings it out, and goes to a couple different panels, and he's starting to put this bullshit out there. What does Mclicklickpop and her daughter do? I'll tell you what they do. Very smart. So they go back, I guess, into the family album or whatever it is, and they pull the first photo up of John and his friends at the house. And yes, college kids, after college. These people are 23, 24, 25 years old at this time. So what does she do? And if you want to believe that or not, she puts up the metadata. She puts out the metadata when the photo was taken. Original date, 2010, 0430, 1241, 41. Size, and you can see that it is a JPEG. Now she's probably screenshot that in order and turned it to a JPEG because it would say, well, no, actually, yeah, that would have to be a screenshot there. Now she puts, I guess it may be her daughter or whatever, and then she also posts the time, date, everything with the metadata part, and you guys can see. So now I'll wait, or we'll wait. I'm not going to say I'll wait. I care about this situation, but what I was going to end up happening, I really don't understand how anybody could ever refute this evidence. How do you refute this? Somebody tell me right now, please. How can you refute it? It is controlled by intimidation. Exactly, Life's a Dance. And that's what's sad. But you know what? Jimbo controls each and every one of his people over there by control and intimidation. That's Jimbo's motto. Jimbo, that's how he works. That's at John's apartment where my daughter is by herself there. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you for stepping in on that. I mean, I needed it because I didn't understand really a little. It was just that part about it. I'm trying to look it up all day today and look into it, and it just kind of blows my mind that somebody would try to destroy someone with lies, and that's wrong. That's very, very wrong. Now, 100%, Jimbo uses users' intimidation to control people and make them do whatever he wants. Now, I'm one creator. I can only do so much, okay? I can only do so much on this platform. I can only do so much. Now, if you other creators want to pick it up and run with it, you can have anything and everything, and I'm pretty sure Mclicklickpop would assist you. Just see the skid marks in his diapers. I'm not done with it. I am not finished with him. There's a couple more people that I'm going to be bringing out, and we're going to prove that he lied and he harmed him, and that's wrong. That's wrong. Prove I'm wrong. Jimbo, I challenge you to prove I'm wrong. Prove I'm wrong, dude. Because now you not only owe Mclicklickpop, T-Sipper, and your brother-in-law an apology, you owe that whole damn panel that you went into and scattered those lies, even multiple more lies than that have been debunked. You did that. You made sure that you made Mclicklickpop a source, a bad source. Why would you do that for? Why would you do that? So now you owe that whole panel or in that channel. And so you need to be getting your big ass up, going back on the panel or in that channel and trying to get up, whatever you need to do, and you need to apologize. Right. That was not right. The moral of that was wrong. I would never do nobody that way. Bring in kids right off the bat like that. Yeah, she's sleeping with them. Molesting. No, hell no. That shit don't fly. That shit don't fly. And I knew when it was Mclicklickpop, Hey, I'll come to my people's aid, especially over some bullshit like this. And I think it's time that you get dealt your final blow, bro. And I'm going to be the one to deal it. Now, much respect. God bless you all. If you want to donate, donate.